Sports.
Friday night fireworks at Turner Field? You bet. Last night, Justin Upton provided them with his 14th home run of the year, a towering 461-foot grand slam that helped lead the Braves to an 8-5 win over the Dodgers. Tonight, it's Game 2 of the series, and the Braves look for some more fireworks. Kris Medlen faces Chris Capuano in Game 2 of the series. From Turner Field in Atlanta, a very special night of Braves baseball. A big crowd on hand here in Atlanta for Military Appreciation Night. And boy, do we echo those sentiments. The fine men and women of our armed forces honored before the game tonight, and a first pitch strike. You'd expect nothing less. As we get you set for Game 2 of our series, it's the Braves and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Hi again, friends. Along with Braves legend Dale Murphy and Joe Simpson, I'm Chip Caray. Great to be back at the ballpark where the Braves didn't get very good news today. Eric O'Flaherty is a latest member of the Braves bullpen, Joe, to go down with an elbow injury.
Yeah, and the news wasn't good after an exam either, Chip. He has a torn ligament in his elbow. He's going to be examined by Dr. Andrews in a couple of days, but surgery is upcoming for Eric O'Flaherty, which means he would be lost for the year. To take his place in the bullpen right now is Corey Rasmus. His brother plays for the Toronto Blue Jays, by the way. He is a Georgia boy. He's been pitching great for Gwinnett, but he's been going to be thrust into a real tough position here in this six-man bullpen right now. But when you think about the Braves' big three at the end of the game, they're down to one, and that's Craig Kimbrell.
But there is some good news in Atlanta. It's the fact that for the first time all year last night, the Braves had their envisioned starting 8 together, and Fredi Gonzalez, the Braves manager, was thrilled with the 8 runs Atlanta scored.
If you want to go left-right, you got to go through Justin, or later on, you got to go through Chris Johnson. So it's not easy. I mean, I've been in the other shoe, sitting across the dugout when that situation arises against us, and it's not easy. It's not easy to do that. And today they went left, right, left, and they tried to go through Justin with it, and he made them pay.
What a relief for Fredi Gonzalez. He probably literally, Chip, has filled out a different lineup every day, and hopefully we can get a little consistency. But that is the pleasure of this lineup, going left, right, left, having tough matchups out of the pen. Paid off big time last night.
And you're right. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Same starting 8 for Atlanta in Game 2 of the series as Kris Medlen gets the ball for Atlanta. Chris Capuano gets the ball for the Dodgers. Justin Upton had another huge night. Up, and away indeed for the Braves outfielder Tom Hart. We'll talk about his home run hitting prowess when we come back to a special night at Turner Field this evening.
and the Dodgers. Time for some good news here in Braves country, and that's a reminder that Atlanta has the best home run hitter in all of baseball. That's right, Justin Upton was at it again last night. In fact, he wasted no time. Opening day against the Phillies, and he rode this one 460 feet deep into the seats in left center. Not only does he lead the majors in home runs, but he leads baseball in average home run distance. And last night he was at it again. 461 feet for a grand slam and straight into the vomitorium as the Braves came away with a comfy from behind victory against the Dodgers. Take a look at these feats for Upton. Every one of his home runs has gone over 400 feet, an average distance of 427. To put it in perspective, Mark McGwire in 1998, his first 14 home runs averaged 403 feet. He's even impressed Popeye arm Dan Uggla and other guys in the clubhouse, and he looks to keep that going again tonight. So Upton, who hits one every 10 at-bats, will try to get another couple tonight against the Dodgers. And Chris Medlin could use all the help that Upton and his teammates want to provide. He struggled last time out against San Francisco, but he's undefeated in his career against the Dodgers. And when we return, he'll be on the hill. Chris, Joe, and Dale have the call.
Dodgers here at Turner Field. Atlanta won 8-5 last night. Paul Maholm picked up the win. Craig Kimbrell his 12th save. And that pushes the Braves record to 23-18. Atlanta starts play tonight, fellas, a half game ahead of the Nationals, who are just as hot as Atlanta, it seems, of late. The Washington Ball Club nipping at our heels as they play baseball out on the West Coast with San Diego. It is a warm, muggy, cloudy night, and the forecast is for rain showers intermittently around 8, 9 o'clock tonight, with heavy stuff coming down around 11 p.m. Let's hope the bad weather stays away, for this is the only visit to town by the Western Division Los Angeles Dodgers. Don Mattingly is their skipper. Here's his Toyota starting lineup. A little bit of a change. They move everybody up underneath Carl Crawford. Matt Kemp's hitting second for just the second time this year. Adrian Gonzalez is at first base. Andre Ethier is their cleanup man. Skip Schumacher, Tim Fedorowicz behind the plate. Nick Punto had a good start to the series last evening. D. Gordon's their 8th place hitting shortstop, and longtime Braves nemesis Chris Capuano pitches and bats ninth.
Pitcher on the mound for the Braves tonight is Chris Medlin, who's making his 9th start. Got off to a good start. Chris Medlin-like, 1-1, 1.42 ERA, but his last 5 starts winless and an ERA of .470, and that batting average is high too. And the reason for that is it kind of brings us to our 4 keys for pitching success tonight for Chris Medlen. He is just off on his command. He's not hitting those pinpoint spots like he hit in the second half of last season. So tonight he's got to go back to hitting those spots. And with all of the injuries now in the bullpen, and with a shorter bullpen with only 6 guys, it's imperative for these starting pitchers to be ready to go deeper in the ball game. He's been going an average of 6 2/3 per start. Good work by anybody these days, but he's going to have to crank it up a little more.
And you bring up an excellent point, Joe. The starters over the last 7 games are averaging a little more than 5 innings.
It's not going to get it done right now.
So psychologically, the mood of the ball club, Murph, after a big injury to a vital component of your ball club, and Eric O'Flaherty, the man that suffered it.
Well, yeah, sometimes psychologically at first you're a little down, but then everybody kind of says to themselves, okay, we got to step it up. You know, you can't win divisions, pennants, World Series without going through some adversity. People are going to get hurt. That's just the way it goes. So you can't sit around and say, well, guys got hurt, tough break. Everybody has guys that get hurt. Someone's got to step up, and I like what Joe said. Guys got to go a little deeper. You just got to get the job done and suck it up a little bit.
So Carl Crawford leads off for Los Angeles, and Chris Medlen pumps over a quick strike.
I thought it was interesting, Joe, what you said about pinpoint control. I asked you earlier what Medlen's challenge has been, and you said control.
Crawford reaches for that pitch and pops it into shallow left. Andrelton Simmons handles cleanly. Crawford is out number 1.
But control is more than just walking people. It's control within the zone.
Mm-hmm.
He used the word pinpoint location. That's what he's had in the past.
Right.
That's what he started the season out with, and doesn't quite have the pinpoint control.
Yeah, he's not walking that many guys. That's not really the issue, although he did walk 5 in his last start, which was a real aberration. But he's missing in the zone. He's missing his spots, and he's catching too much of the plate.
Matt Kemp had his long hitting streak interrupted last night, and that's nothing new. The Braves have pitched this man awfully tough, as you see on our Ram Trucks power stats.
No hits in his last 18 ABs here. Let's hope that continues.
One ball, 1 strike for Kemp. .273 average, 15 RBIs, but 1 home run. Another chance for Simmons. Backhanded play. Perfect throw. Kemp is out number 2. Here's the rest of the Atlanta defensive lineup tonight. Upton, and Hayward left to right. Johnson, Simmons, Uggla, and Freeman around the horn from 3rd to 1st, and Brian McCann is behind the plate.
Chris has not pitched that much. I should say he hasn't started that much against his hometown team, the Dodgers. Only 1 start, 5 other relief appearances, but the numbers that jump out at you: 15 2/3 total innings, 1 walk, 14 strikeouts.
Chris from Artesia, California. That's in southeastern LA County. Was the childhood home of former First Lady Pat Nixon. One ball, no strikes to Adrian Gonzalez. Good change.
Good change up, and that's another pitch that he's had a little trouble with. It just hasn't been there for him, which forces him to go to his curveball for an off-speed pitch, and at times he kind of overthrows that pitch.
So 1-2 for Gonzalez. Here's your umpiring crew with old pal Jerry Lane behind the plate. Alan Porter's at first, Greg Gibson at second, and Hunter Wendelstedt at third.
Hunter looks more and more like his dad every day.
I was just thinking the same thing.
The late great Harry Wendelstedt.
Two balls, 2 strikes. .27 RBIs for Gonzalez and a .338 mark. Bounced out towards second. Douglas got it. And Chris Medlin, a 1-2-3 top of the first. One, two, three, scoreless first inning. Now it's the Braves' turn. Atlanta off to a good start in the series, winning 8-5 last night. The Toyota starting lineup, the same 1 through 8 that we saw in Game 1 of the series. And Chris Medlin opposes left-hander Chris Capuano for the Dodgers.
34 years old, 6'3", 215, out of Massachusetts by way of the University of Duke, where he was a Phi Beta Kappa at Duke and got his degree in economics. His last 8 starts against the Braves, outstanding. He has practically owned them, including a start while he was with the Mets in August of 2011 when he struck out a career-high 13 batters and went the distance in a 6-0 shutout win over the Braves. He was on fire that night, and the Braves get to hook up with him again tonight, but he's not off to a very good start. He's 1-2 with a 6.60 ERA. His 4 keys to pitching success tonight: count. He needs to be ahead in the count to be successful. Features a good curveball and an excellent change, and have a good memory about what worked before, even though there's a lot of new faces in this Braves lineup.
Andrelton Simmons, the Braves shortstop, gets things started. And that's a strike over the inside corner. 4 homers, 16 RBIs for Simmons. He scored 3 runs. In fact, the top 3 hitters were awfully productive last evening. Simmons, Hayward, and Upton scored 6 times collectively against Hyun-Jin Ryu, Matt Greer, and Paco Rodriguez.
2 strikes, 1 to each side of the plate already from Capuano.
Andrelton hit some balls on the nose last night. I thought he probably should have had it, but he hit 1 ball to third. I think he ended up getting an error, but that was a rocket.
And the dirt evens the count.
And he reached on an error twice, and some of the Braves players who were saying, Chip, kind of thought that at least one of those should have been a hit. The one to left field that Crawford whiffed on, and then the one that came out of Cruz's glove.
Yeah, the folks on the field, and I won't name names, but thought the ball to third was a rocket. It was really hit hard. But no such luck. And Simmons misses a 79-mile-an-hour changeup, I guess.
Yeah.
It was up in the zone and is out number 1.
Here's that pitch again in the 70s. Again, he's got an excellent change. He even though that one was up, he got away with it. He's another guy like the pitcher last night, Dale, that you've still got to think about using the middle of the field.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that Andrelton saw that one pretty well. He's probably shaking his head trying to figure out how he did miss it, but I think he took just enough off of it.
Strike to Jason Hayward. 2 hits, 2 runs, and an RBI for Jason last night.
And there's a number of reasons why you want to use the whole field, but the other reason is pitchers don't like to come inside all that much anyway. They're probably going to get a lot of pitches middle away anyway. It keeps you in a better hitting position, but you know, the scouting report on too many guys, there's not a scouting report out there that says, hey, keep coming in on a guy.
High fly ball left center. Kemp going back at the track, leaping at the wall. Kemp brought it back. Wow. What a catch by Kemp, and Hayward tips the cap.
That was perfectly timed.
Yeah, it looked like he had a beat on it the whole way, knew exactly where the fence was. Good timing. Good swing by Jason Hayward. Ball a little bit away, hit it right where it was pitched. Good play by Kemp. Jason going for the sportsmanship award tonight.
Yeah.
Let's see if Upton can say catch this one. He swings the first pitch, and Kemp in a couple of steps has an easier play. Well, we're off and running. What a play by Matt Kemp in center field to take away a home run from Jason Hayward. We are through 1 at Turner Field. Still scoreless. Baseball is brought to you in part by AT&T Uverse, by Delta Airlines, and by Ford. Quite a start to game 2, huh? Chris Medlin a 1-2-3 first. Matt Kemp a great catch to take away a long ball from Jason Hayward, and we head to the second with no score. What's that like? You two are outfielders in the big leagues. What's that sensation like when you're in a visiting ballpark and you time your leap perfectly like Matt Kemp just did?
You kind of feel like you hit a home run. You really do. It doesn't happen that often. I didn't rob home runs that often, but when you do contribute defensively, it can get things going a little bit mentally for the team. You feel as good. Well, I don't know. I'm probably exaggerating. You don't feel like you hit a home run, but
It's pretty close.
feels pretty good. Feels pretty good.
The only guy I did that to was a pitcher.
Oh, really?
I brought one back on a pitcher.
Who was the pitcher?
Remember Tom Griffin?
Yeah.
The Padres?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow. So Kemp saves a run. Now Medlin versus Andre Ethier. Don Mattingly said before the Dodgers got to town his plan was to give Ethier last night off. Felt he was wearing down just a bit. He had a pinch hit appearance last night, and he starts play this evening with 3 homers and 13 driven in.
Pinch hit appearance in the rain off of Craig Kimbrell. Not a lot of fun. You know, you mentioned about robbing home runs. Actually, I'd have to say during my career, we didn't have a lot of fences that were the height where you could rob a lot of home runs. Most of them were the old round stadiums with, you know, like Fulton County Stadium. At one time we had a lower fence, but we didn't have it that long. You know, Veteran Stadium, Olympic Stadium.
I remember San Diego, before they brought the fence in, was the wall of
the wall. Yeah,
Jack Murphy Stadium. Yeah. That was huge.
And really, Dodger Stadium was one of the few places that you could climb the fence a little bit.
Ethier skies one toward left. Upton's going back a step or two. And Justin, plenty of room for Ethier's fly ball. 4 up, 4 down for Chris. And here's Skip Schumacher. He's hitting a .194, no homers, 6 driven in. We told you earlier the Braves had to place Eric O'Flaherty on the disabled list. Atlanta's going to get no sympathy from this Dodger club. They have had to use the disabled list 15 times already this year. One reason why the Dodgers are 6 under 500.
3/5 of their starting rotation on the DL right now, with Beckett going on there a couple of days ago. He was scheduled to pitch tomorrow. Instead, it'll be Matt McGill.
Chad Billingsley and Ted Lilly, the other 2 disabled Dodger starters. Not to mention Mark Ellis and Hanley Ramirez, 2 everyday players. So they've really had to shuffle the deck. And a fine catch down the left field line off the bat of Skip Schumacher.
Well, I would have to say, we take another look at that.
I'm really glad the ball found his glove, because his babies were sitting right behind that.
That was remarkable. You talk about the injuries, Chip. I think typically winning pennants is a test of your organizational strength anyway. It's not going to be your starting 8 only. It's going to be your bench and your whole organization, AAA, everybody.
I think that's a great point.
Schumacher rolls to first. 2 outs. And you heard Tom Hart's interview with Frank Wren, the Braves general manager, before the game. Atlanta brings up Corey Rasmus from their minor leagues. At this point, Frank intimated that there's no plans to go outside the organization for help in the bullpen. But that's not to say that come June or July, when the trade market starts to percolate a little more, that would not be the case.
See Corey taking it in. A few more folks here than he's used to seeing at a ball game. But he has been a lot of ball games where his brother has been playing, and very fine center fielder in his own right in the big leagues.
And he's got a shot to maybe pitch to his brother.
That's right.
Got a 4-game series, 2 home and 2 away with Toronto coming up.
Excellent numbers at Gwinnett.
Yes, indeed. Wow. 123 opponent average.
He's said to have an excellent changeup, so you might see him come in against left-handers, because right now a very different look to the bullpen. Atlanta has 1 lefty down there. That's Luis Avalon.
That's a good point, Chip, that he's got a pitch. He can stay in there against some left-handers with a good changeup.
And that one right back through the box by Tim Fedorowicz. He's the Dodgers catcher tonight. And that's the first Los Angeles base runner.
Right in the center of the plate, and he did with it what he's supposed to do. And let's hit it right back at him. But he got ahead in the count, worked it to his favor.
That brings up Nick Punto. Punto batted second last night and did so successfully. He was 2 for 4, had a stolen base.
Chris just threw over there and used his pretty much his A move to throw over and try to pick off Fedorowicz, but I wish he had saved that A move for a guy who might really run. Got the catcher over there. There's 2 outs, so there's not a hit and run in order here. Don't show it to him. Save it for when you need it.
Yeah, you can. I remember Joe. People would always, early in the game, he'd throw over to first, and everybody on the bench would say, "He's got a better one." Everybody, he's got a better one.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't want to see his good one.
Right.
You don't want to give that away and help the runners with the timing of your good move.
Punto sprays 1 foul, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I had an interesting experience coaching first base for the World Baseball Classic. You know, now you got a stopwatch down there, and you're timing everything, how fast he is to the plate, how quick he is to first, and guys want to know the times. I kept forgetting to push the reset button, and Ryan Braun would look over. How fast is he? 2.5 minutes. I think I messed up. Right, you're on your own. But guys wanted to know. You know, how fast was he to the plate?
Chris Medlin ties up Punto and has his first strikeout. Chris off to a good start. Rays try to break through in the second with Freeman, Johnson, and Brian McCann. Fans young and old getting their game faces on for the Braves and the Dodgers. We should have had Murph do that for rookie hazing last year.
Good point. Just paint names all over his face.
I'll do that. I'll do that. Be an honor to have Joe tattooed on my forehead. And Chip.
Or Chris, whatever you prefer. All season long Braves baseball on Fox Sports South is being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price, every day. Chris Capuano facing Freddie Freeman. Now, you mentioned that big strikeout game that Capuano had against Atlanta while with the Mets. That was a gigantic turning point in that 2011 season. A lot of folks might have forgotten that Capuano pitched on the eve of what turned out to be Hurricane Irene in New York. Braves played that game, left town the next day, didn't play for a couple of games, and it was said that for whatever reason the club really lost its rhythm because they'd been playing very good baseball up to that time. And with Capuano's performance, the Braves lost 20 of their final 30 games down the stretch.
It's painful.
And Freeman takes one over the outside corner, and Capuano has his second strikeout.
What was the situation? Did you fly in for that game? Was it?
No, it was a weekend series. I believe it was a weekend.
But it was just
Friday, and we were waiting around Saturday, wanting to know if we were going to play Saturday night or not. Fly ball down the right field line, and that's out of play. Joe Vincius, our producer, corrects my deficient memory. We went to the ballpark, played the game. A lot of the players and staff had already gone to the ballpark. They had to come back to the hotel, get their bags, go back to Citi Field. We played the game and then left right after the game to come back to Atlanta because of the bad forecast.
the incoming hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. So it was all kind of strange psychologically and mentally for everybody. Sometimes things like that definitely can get you into a little bit of a funk, and that's what happened.
Johnson serves one into shallow right field, a thing of beauty. That'll play all night, won't it?
Yes,
You bet.
indeed. Like they say, hit it like it's pitched.
That's 4 straight games for Chris Johnson, who continues his good work against the Dodgers. Our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot his last 16 games against LA, a .345 mark.
Brian McCann looks for his first base hit of the series. Fedoro, it's a nice stop. 1 ball, no strikes.
Brian looked good last night. Not a lot to show for it. Hit a couple balls on the nose to the left center field, as I recall.
By the way, I posed that question to both Brian and Jason today that we discussed last night about coming back from the DL and trying to be ready physically and mentally. And they both gave me the same answer separately, that it is so easy to get back into the mental frame of mind to play because you're so fired up. And if nothing more, the fact that there is a big crowd, you get locked in right away. And Jason said when he was in Pawtucket on a rehab assignment, he said, when I stole second base one night and went in head first, I knew I was good. I knew I was good to go. And they both, in separate answers, said, no, it's easy mentally to get right back into it because you can't wait to play again.
And obviously the Braves couldn't wait to get them both back. It's really rather remarkable that for extended stretches of time, Hayward and McCann were out of the lineup for this club, yet the Braves are in first place. Slow roller hit toward Adrian Gonzalez. He will handle on the infield grass. Johnson moves to second with 2 outs.
See, he didn't even give in there, 3-0. It was not even his best fastball. I think it was a fastball, probably something that he turned over a little bit. Target away. He made a mistake up with it, but it's not his Sunday fastball. It's almost like a get-over batting practice fastball, and Brian was out in front of it.
Sometimes that's a tough pitch for hitters. You don't hear that phrase too often, but I remember hearing that. What'd you throw him? He goes, I threw him a BP fastball.
Yeah.
Just down in front, just a little bit.
New set of signs for Capuano with Chris Johnson leading at second and Dan Uggla in the batter's box.
Last night, I thought Ryu did a good job first time through the order of really keeping the guys off balance with his off-speed stuff. He had 3 strikeouts through the first turn through the order. He also walked 3, and then things started to catch up. The Braves hitters were making some adjustments. We may see that happen again tonight.
One ball, 1 strike for Dan Uggla. Braves opponents have scored first in 9 straight games. This would be a great chance to end that streak.
Well, he's hitting spots with it.
Yes, he is.
Man, we talked about that before we signed off last night, Chip, about how it would be nice to give Chris Medlin a couple of runs to work with because he's among the league leaders, if you will, in lowest run support.
.9 runs of support for Chris Medlin. A total of 15 runs. And it's hard to believe the Braves are 2-7 when he starts.
Well, the challenge here for Dan Uggla will be getting even a pitch to hit with B.J. Upton's struggles. Got to be surprised if there's anything on the plate for Dan Uggla here.
They tried to tie him up inside. Now the count's full.
And that 89 fastball looks like 99 when you've been trying to focus on the off-speed stuff. But it's given Dan a problem in his career. He's just 4 for 22 against Capuano. 22 at bats, 13 strikeouts.
I think he's thrown some changeups at 79. And when you go 89 to 79, 10 miles an hour is a huge adjustment.
Swing and a miss at 77. 3rd strikeout for Capuano. Johnson left standing at second base, and we still have no score.
Military Appreciation Day here, if I could talk, here at Turner Field. Over 100 military members were on the field pre-game holding a giant flag across the outfield, and Chaplain Leslie Nelson got to throw out the very first pitch, and she is with me right now. What has today been like for you?
Really amazing, actually. Yeah.
Throwing out the first pitch, were you nervous?
Yes, I was a nervous wreck. My hands were shaking.
You seemed a little emotional afterwards, were you?
It's just really different having something like that happen. I've done a lot of different things as a military chaplain, but never thrown a pitch at a Braves game.
Now, you were telling me a little bit about your role as a chaplain. Can you explain what you do to serve?
I do a lot of different things. I have a lot of different roles. I work full-time with the Georgia National Guard as the Directorate Chaplain for the Joint and Family Services Directorate, and basically that means I take care of families full-time. I do a lot of counseling, I do a lot of classes, training on how to deal with deployment, how to reintegrate after you come back from deployment. I do a few worship services occasionally, which is cool since I'm a chaplain. But I spend all of my time with soldiers and their families, service members and their families. And I get to be here with the PALS guys tonight, which is even better than throwing out the first pitch.
Well, from everyone at Turner Field, and especially all of us at Fox Sports South, we cannot thank you enough for all that you do for all of us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Chip?
Thank you, Elizabeth. Dee Gordon, I believe, was hit by that pitch. It was an 0-2 count, and he'll stand at first base.
Well, he should have been out if his foot is still, his foot was out of the box when he got hit.
Absolutely. Wow.
So that doubly hurts Chris Medlin, the 0-2 pitch, and then the hit batsman, and a fast runner at first base for Chris Capuano.
It's a tough call for the home plate ump. I could see that. Been nice. I guess the only other guy that could see it is the second base ump, but it's a tough call. But I thought it was just a typical getting hit on the foot with a curveball, but definitely out of the box.
Runner goes, and Capuano gets the bunt down very, very well. Medlin to first. A 1-3 sacrifice. Gordon in scoring position for the top of the Dodger order.
It's kind of a weird play there.
That was really strange. I agree with you, Joe. I was thankful he bunted it because he had the base stolen. It looked like if he lets him steal it, then he has a chance to bunt him to third. So didn't he have an unbelievable jump?
He did. He had a great jump. I don't think they had a play on him. And for Capuano, it's his first bunt of the year, first successful bunt. So maybe he missed a sign.
Carl Crawford popped out to start the game. And takes low and inside, ball one. That one found the mark. And ball one strike.
And that's a good curveball. It's not his strikeout curveball to the back foot of a left-handed hitter, but it's good that he didn't try to overthrow that one or didn't overcook it. Got a good break on it. Came over the top of it.
Then a fastball inside edge.
He's hitting that spot tonight. It's a couple of times he's already hit it on Crawford.
I like his location so far. It looks like it's really pinpoint. The plate is 7 baseballs wide. You don't want to be on those 3 baseballs in the middle. You want to be on those 2 baseballs on both sides of the plate. Now, so far, it looks like he's pretty well keyed in on the edges of the plate.
Well, again, outside of that 5-walk game against the Giants, his last time out, his command's been pretty good. Coming into the game tonight, in his last 34 innings, he had walked 13. That's a lot for him, but he'd given up 43 hits. He's getting hit a lot. So add that all together. There are a lot of base runners and working out of the stretch a lot.
Two balls, 2 strikes for 31-year-old Carl Crawford.
See, even that pitch there is a good miss. You know, it's a good miss. You don't miss inner half to the middle of the plate. You miss off the plate. Set up this pitch here.
High fly ball to straightaway right. Hayward sets up. Gordon fakes a tag. And 2 are out. We invite you to see Grammy winners and Georgia residents casting crowns live in concert here at Turner Field tomorrow after our game, part of the Braves Faith Day. Field passes are still available to see the show up close, and those field passes can be purchased at braves.com/concerts right now. Here's Matt Kemp. He rolled out to short. Gordon's going to try to steal third. McCann's throw gets him.
Look at Kemp. Kemp upset about that because he wanted to drive him in. What a throw by Brian.
We saw some questionable base running in Arizona. We see a questionable Dodger decision in the third, and it helps keep the game scoreless. Took the Diamondbacks out of a chance for a big inning with Paul Goldschmidt up. Brian McCann just threw out D. Gordon with Matt Kemp in the box.
Perfect pitch to throw on to up and into the right-handed hitter. So Brian's going that way, made a great throw. Poor decision with Matt Kemp. Then Gonzalez to follow if Kemp reaches with 2 outs. That was a bad play, and the Braves thank D. Gordon.
In that Arizona game, Freddie Gonzalez told us afterward, Joe, that he thought that was the biggest play in the game. Atlanta led at the time 3-1. Then had a big inning next time up and blew out the Diamondbacks.
Well, it's funny how things work out. He should have been called out when he got hit by that pitch, so it all worked out okay.
Yeah, that's true. But you never steal third with 2 outs with your number 3 and 4 hitter coming up, unless you know you're going to be safe, and then you don't steal it as well.
Right. You just come back to the dugout the next inning and go, boy, I think I could have gotten to third base there. I think I could have gotten a good jump.
I think he was the first guy out of the dugout with his glove, too.
I don't think he wanted to go in that dugout. I think Don Mattingly probably would have let him know something, but we'll take it.
Word needs to be passed through the Braves dugout about change up, once in a while a fastball, change up, and start trying to think about right center field for these right-handed hitters.
That's over the inside corner, and no argument from Upton.
See, he's pitching backwards with all this. He's getting ahead with the off speed because he's locating that changeup so well, and then he's throwing that 89-mile-an-hour fastball two-seamer in there for the strikeout, as he does here.
It starts messing with your head a little bit. You start thinking too much. You got to simplify it, Joe. Like you said, look away, drive the ball to right. If he makes a mistake, you'll hit it. But you can react to his fastballs. A pitcher like him, not a lot. As I've said before, there's not a lot of guys you can do that. Look the other way and react in.
Did you ever face Randy Jones with the Padres?
Yes, I did, and I hated it.
Remember what a good changeup he had? And unlike today's player, I think players from your era were much more willing to move in the box on a guy like that, move up in the box or crowd the plate, take something away from him. Hitters today just don't do that.
Absolutely. With a guy like him, I would, and I didn't move that much, but with him, if you didn't move up a foot and on the plate, he would kill you away. And then you would just dare him to throw it in if he threw it in, but he still didn't do it, and he kept nibbling away and away. But yes, absolutely, you have to make an adjustment. On a few guys, you had to move in that box.
Medlin skies one into shallow center. Kemp diving try, can't get it. Braves have 2 bloop singles tonight. And Medlin's first base hit of the year.
Tom Glavine, I don't know if he's watching the Braves or his Boston Bruins tonight. Might be a toss-up there, but I know if he's watching this game, he is high-fiving Chris Medlin from afar for his first hit. 1 for 14 now.
Here's Andrelton.
Guys still want to get on that back line of the batter's box, dig in, and you're playing into a changeup pitcher's
It's a good
hand.
point, Joe. Move up at least a foot.
Bouncing ball left side. Underhanded shovel to second, and the throw to first in time for a double play. Punto to Schumacher to Gonzalez. And the Braves out of luck in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Still no score.
News today from the Braves bullpen. Eric O'Flaherty will undergo surgery sometime soon. He's got a torn ligament in his elbow. General Manager Frank Wren said this is a big loss for the bullpen.
It's a big hit. I mean, we've kind of hung our hat on those three guys at the back end, which is Kimbrel, Venters, and O'Flaherty the last 3 or 4 years, and they've done a great job for us. So it's one we're going to have to figure out how we finish off games, and you know, Avalon has done a great job, so you know he's going to get more responsibility. We'll get Jordan Walden back in the next week. He's doing better, and he's closed out games for the Angels and pitched in important situations. So we're going to have to regroup a little bit, but I think we have people that can fill that role.
So guys, not only do you lose one of the best setup men in baseball, but you may lose that right, left, right option. Anyone who questions just how important that is can ask Don Mattingly what he had to face last night with only a lefty available to face Justin Upton.
And Tom, I think that you can obviously see the dejection and the disappointment in the face of Frank Wren too when he's talking to you about O'Flaherty, because that is a big loss.
I believe I read a note somewhere today that Kimbrel and O'Flaherty had better ERAs than Mariano Rivera. That's it. Those are the top 3 guys. As Matt Kemp skies one toward right field, Jason Hayward back a couple of steps and makes the play.
I don't know if we could find this out. Might have to put Gretchen on it, but I wonder how many games Craig Kimbrel's pitched where O'Flaherty didn't pitch the inning in front of him.
That's a good question.
There might have been some games where the Braves rallied, took the lead in the 8th, and then Kimbrel finished it in the 9th. That's a real possibility, but just about every time Kimbrel finishes a ball game, Eric pitched the 8th inning.
Yeah, a couple of years ago it was Venters in the 8th, and then Johnny got hurt, and then Eric stepped up.
That's right.
To that frame, but yeah, that's an excellent point. But to Dale's point too, your organization is going to have to pick up the slack, and I think we're all very, very surprised and pleasantly so at the job Luis Avilan has done in filling in for Johnny Vetters.
Absolutely.
Adrian Gonzalez yanks that one a mile down the right field line, foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's the thing, this guy crosses you up on how he can turn on the ball when he wants to.
Just as an aside, we're talking about the D. Gordon's steal and everything with Kemp up. I think I was referring to Kemp and Gonzalez as the 3-4 hitter tonight. They're hitting 2 and 3. For those of you who are keeping score at home, I completely messed you up. I apologize.
Downstairs.
We were with you.
We knew what you meant. 2 balls and a strike.
2, 3, 3, 4. Somewhere in there.
Either way, it
good hitter.
play.
Good hitters.
There you go.
They're good hitters. Nice there.
Adrian Gonzalez, the subject of our AT&T Universe trivia question. Since 2007, he has a .297 batting average, 3rd best among Major League first basemen. Who has the highest batting average with a minimum of 2,000 plate appearances?
Goodness, that's a lot. Could Mark Teixeira fit there?
Yep. Time up. Here's a question. Does he have to be a current first baseman? So Miguel Cabrera would not apply. He did play first for the Tigers, but now plays 3rd base with Prince Fielder on the other side of the diamond.
Albert Pujols.
A good guess. Joey Votto.
That's who I like if it's got enough. 1,000.
Paul Konerko.
Yeah, Votto's got plenty of ABs.
A lot of choices. 2 balls, 2 strikes. For those of you following Dale Murphy on Twitter, go ahead and give him the answer, because Joe and I need the help on our trivia question tonight. Full count pitch for Adrian Gonzalez.
I'll be checking it out.
No, I figure it's got to be Pujols.
Yep.
I mean, it'd be like betting against Orb, the horse race. How could you go wrong?
Yeah,
right?
good point. Favorite never loses.
Especially at 3-5.
Yeah. So no Triple Crown this year. Horse racing, 10th pitch of the at bat for Adrian Gonzalez is taken low. He earned a walk. First one of those for Chris tonight. He's also hit a batter. 1 on, 1 out.
Time for our Home Depot tools from the dugout, and this applies to the Braves pitchers at home. 3rd in ERA in the major leagues, 3rd in starters ERA, 1st in walks per 9 innings and in strikeouts per 9 innings. That's pretty good work right there in that walks to strikeout ratio, and the record 10-5, fourth best overall.
Andre Ethier flying out his first time up. And he takes a knee-high strike. Ethier was not born and raised a Dodger. He was originally an Oakland Athletic. And then after the 2005 season, the Dodgers traded Milton Bradley and Antonio Perez to the A's for Andre Ethier.
Advantage Dodgers.
.132 lifetime homers in a Dodger uniform for Andre Ethier, including 3 this year.
He's got really good hands in his swing, strong hands. Guy had some pretty good hands too, with the bat and the glove.
Fly ball center right at BJ. He's got it, 2 out.
I liked what he did there, Dale. Talking about BJ. It was one of those line drives at him. He wasn't sure if it was going to be over his head or in front of him. But what he did was he turned sideways. Watch this. Turned sideways. Now he can cross over either way. He can cross over and go back. He can use a crossover step and come in if he has to, until he has a chance to read it. And as it turned out, right at him.
Yeah, good instinctive move when you got a little question in your mind, not sure what to do. You freeze, and turning sideways does help. It give you a little different perspective sometimes too. But he's ready to go either way. Instead of staying straight up, can't go in or back as quickly. And he hit that ball pretty well, but it was a good location. Whoa, good location.
That was one of Joe's keys. Chris has to hit his spots.
And he's doing that with his changeup, I think, better tonight than we've seen him maybe since that win.
Really like the way he's working tonight.
That's downstairs. 2 balls and a strike.
And it's unfair to say that he hasn't pitched well since he beat Miami 3-2 and went 7 innings and gave up 1 unearned run. That really hasn't been the case. He gave up 2 runs in 7 innings against Kansas City, got no decision. And just 2 starts ago in Cincinnati, he was ready to be the winner until the home runs in the 9th off Kimbrel beat the Braves. He gave up 2 runs in 7 innings that night.
So Medlin, a case where you look at his record and you say he's having a bad year. You look at his ERA and his other numbers, you say they're a little higher than last year, but certainly not worthy of a guy pitching to a 1-5 mark. That's lined over third and fair. Schumacher kisses the chalk down the left field line. And the ball gets away from Justin Upton in the corner. And that's going to bring Gonzalez home, and he'll score standing up. So the Dodgers get a break, and they've scored first.
I'm not sure what happened in the corner. We couldn't see the deep corner here, but Schumacher placed this perfectly down the line, and I believe Tim Wallach was going to hold Gonzalez at third base until that happened. That might be an error.
Yeah, Justin did a good job of getting to the ball, but that base hit by Schumacher too, I think that's a situation there where he might have been looking off speed 3-1, but you can react to that fastball. Might be the way the Braves need to approach Capuano.
So that's a double all the way. And the error does allow Gonzalez to score, so no RBI for Schumacher. So Medlin's first walk comes home to roost. And Tim Fedorowicz, the catcher, already with a hit, stands in behind in the count 0-2.
That keeps that streak going, right? 9 in a row now.
10. This was 10.
This was 10 tonight. The Braves have fallen behind. That's not a good trend.
No.
I want to keep testing that. Law of averages on that one.
But it's especially grating on a pitcher who has been scuffling to try to get a W, which might, as good as he's pitching tonight, as sharp as he is with his command, he might all of a sudden try to be too sharp and make a mistake knowing he's already behind.
Fedorowicz, fortunate that didn't hit him. Instead, it's fouled away to the right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's our Academy Sports and Outdoor leaderboard. Chris Medlin, Clayton Kershaw have some things to talk about.
2 Miami pitchers on there too. They can certainly relate. Nolasco and Slowey.
Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. And McCann makes the throw to first, and that retires the side. An error in left scores Gonzalez to give Los Angeles a 1-0 lead. On our Blippy game summary, you see the Dodgers have scored first. That's 10 straight games. Atlanta has allowed the other team to get on the scoreboard first. However, Atlanta ought to have a first run, but Matt Kemp had other ideas.
And that's the subject of our Coors Light freeze cam. off the bat of Jason Hayward in the first inning. Great lead, timed it perfectly. Looked like he saved a home run. Great play by Matt Kemp. We got a tip of the cap from Jason Hayward. That's the Coors Light Freeze Cam, brought to you by Frostproof Coors Light.
I love the fact that Jason's hitting the ball the other way. Did that last night for his first hit. Ball tailing away from Kemp here tonight.
And we're one batter into the second time through the order. We'll see what the players' adjustments are against Capuano, if any.
That's right there for a called strike. Gonzalez at first vacuums that up and wins the race to the first base bag. One away in the Braves' fourth. Here's Justin. There's been a bellwether performer for the Braves this year. Offensively, Justin Upton has been that guy. And the 23 wins for Atlanta this year. Upton's hitting .345 with 13 of his home runs. And Braves losses, Upton hitting .193 with 1 homer and 3 driven in. Grand slam last night, 5 RBIs, is up to 28. And a fly ball shallow right. Ethier's under it and has it 2 down. Hip Hop Pioneers Run DMC perform live at Turner Field post game Saturday, June 1st. Murph, that's part of the Braves Summer Concert Series presented by Coca-Cola and Delta. Get your tickets to see this legendary group at braves.com/tickets or call 800-745-3000. We should have had you read that promotion, by the way. After you did such a great job with OAR last year.
And BOB.
And BOB, yes.
Yeah, I would have changed that to Run DM3. Run DM3.
I like it.
That's my rap group.
2 balls, no strikes. And that caught a corner for Freddie Freeman. Slowest from Capuano, isn't it?
Well, you're right, and I like that observation, Joe, about moving around in the box. Just it's something that is not around that much anymore.
Just trying to take something away from him, make him rethink.
What was that story you shared back in the day with Steve Garvey?
Yeah. I don't know if we can get through it with 2 outs here, but let's see what this pitch is. Got time. We had a meeting before a game with Steve with Randy Jones, and
it was pitches a lot like
very much like this. And Walter Alston told everybody in the line, I want you to move up in the box or move up on the plate. Everybody. One guy did. Steve Garvey, he got 3 hits, and we lost because nobody else moved. And Jones was able to dictate however he wanted, everybody except Garvey.
Gordon at short takes care of Freddie Freeman. Capuano giving the Braves trouble in Game 2 of the series. He bats 3rd in the 5th and leads 1-0. Baseball is brought to you in part by Blimpie, by the Georgia Lottery, by the Home Depot, and by Toyota. Dodgers 1, Braves 0. We head to the 5th inning tonight. Nice warm night for a game in Atlanta. Knock on wood, the rain has stayed away. And Chris Medlin has pitched very effective baseball. A 1-out walk came home after Schumacher doubled and Justin Upton misplayed a ball in the corner. And with 1 pitch, he gets Nick Punto to pop into shallow left. Justin calls off Simmons. Good communication for out number 1.
A tough time of night, too.
Fox Sports South is bringing you the most coverage of the ACC baseball tournament. Don't miss all the action live from Durham, North Carolina, as top teams square off for the conference title. The ACC baseball tournament starts Wednesday at 11 a.m. on Fox Sports South. One ball, no strikes for D. Gordon. That one good enough. 2-1. Same spot, same call.
Yeah, Chris got to be happy the way he's throwing the ball right now. He is hitting those spots.
but missed with Gordon. That's a 1-out walk.
I like to put those fast runners on base, especially to give the pitchers a chance to make a good out and move a runner up.
Which is what Capuano did last time up. All season long, Braves baseball on Fox Sports South is being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price every day. It was an odd play the last time Capuano hit. Gordon got a great jump, looked like he was going to steal second. Capuano laid down the bunt. And as you guys had said, if he had taken, Gordon probably would have been at second base, and then Capuano could have bunted him to third.
Somebody missed a sign.
That's low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Capuano was an all-star in 2006. That was the season after he had been an 18-game winner with Milwaukee.
Maybe the most remarkable thing about this man is 2 Tommy John surgeries. Had it in 2002 and then again in 2008. The 08 surgery cost him 2 full major league seasons. There's the bunt. And Medlin's the man that makes the play. Good sacrifice. Gordon at second, 2 outs, and Carl Crawford's coming up.
Well, that is a good story for Capuano, especially going to Johnny Venters, who will have his second. To hear the number of guys that have had 2 and come back really well is encouraging. It's been done, and it's been done very well. Isringhausen, I think, is one we talked about the other night.
And we don't know what the surgical fate, if there is one, for Eric O'Flaherty. He is going to try to see Dr. Andrews sometime next week, as Frank Wren said earlier, waiting to get an appointment to check out his left elbow. But after an MRI today, it was discovered that Eric O'Flaherty does have a tear in his left pitching elbow. It is in all likelihood finished for this year. No balls and a strike for Crawford. Bottom of the hour. Top of the 5th. And the count now 1-1.
Yes, he did.
You bet he did. Crawford didn't like that call by Hunter Wendelstedt. And he's behind 1-2.
Didn't look like a Hunter liked his reaction to his call.
Back to the mound on a big hop, and Medlin is able to pitch around a 1-out 5th inning walk. Chris Johnson, Brian McCann, and Dan Uggla coming up. That's your Delta Airlines on deck trio. The Braves down 1-0. Dodgers 1, Braves nothing. Time for tonight's Cold Hard Fact, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Beat a left-handed starter last night to improve the record to 10-5. And the most home runs against left-handed starters as well. Only 2 hits tonight, though, off of Capuano, but the Dodgers only have 2 hits off Medlin. But they have an unearned run. Chris's numbers good against Capuano, too. He showed you his good work against the Dodgers. He's 5 for 16 now off Capuano with a homer.
Something off speed, starts another at bat.
And that was a 73-mile-an-hour curveball.
73.
They have to change this man's last name to call him Craftuano.
Pretty good.
Only 53 pitches for the first 4 innings, and he's way ahead of Chris tonight.
Is that economical? Phi Beta Kappa in economics. The reason I was asking. At Duke. Originally drafted by the Diamondbacks.
He went to Milwaukee in the Richie Sexson deal. We showed you his work with the Mets, now wearing Dodgers colors.
He had not pitched well until his last start against Miami at home. He pitched into the 7th inning, 5 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts that day.
Back up the middle, diving play at second. Schumacher can't take away a hit from Johnson. Chris 2 for 2 and a good start to the Braves 5th.
Well, that's a nice play by Schumacher. Made a nice play last night. Got rid of it really quickly. This time he had to dive, so he still got rid of it really well. Good hustle by Chris Johnson. He can smell that hit. That gets you down there a little bit quicker when you can have a chance of getting a base hit. Good start.
So the man on first. Wouldn't you know it, Capuano throws an 88-mile-an-hour fastball right there, and Brian took it for a strike.
Yeah, but it was a good place. He's hitting his spots. He's getting the counts in his favor.
Yeah, you got to give him a little credit. I talked about him going from 79 to 89, and the difference that is in that at bat to Chris Johnson, he went from 73 to 90. That's big.
Tough to adjust to.
Big jump, and if you're getting good location, that's going to be a tough adjustment. I don't think you see that very often. It's a 17-mile-an-hour difference.
He reminds me, he's 6'3", same height, 215, a little lighter, but he reminds me of John Smoltz across the shoulders and how broad-shouldered John was. This guy looks the same way.
One ball, 1 strike for BMAC. Good patience now, 3-1.
But that's what this count thing is all about. Brian's ahead 2-1. Got a change up, borderline pitch, but because it was 2-1, he didn't have to mess with it. He's behind in the count. He may be prone to swing at that just to protect. And now 3-1. Let's see if Capuano continues to pitch backwards here and throw something off speed.
Shift on for the Dodger defense. And Bryan bounces right into it. They'll get the force at second. As Johnson's retired for out number 1. Brian McCann at first for Dan Uggla.
Brian McCann just getting a little bit out of the swing he had last night. If he put a couple of those swings that he had last night, got a couple fastballs to hit, and he's just rolled a little too quick tonight.
Yeah. Tried to pull him.
Yeah.
High fly ball right center. Kemp takes over and makes the catch in front of Andre Ethier. Puts him out.
Smart of Ethier, though, to go over there nearby because of the way the sky is right now. There's no guarantee that he's going to be able to track it all the way. Talking about Kemp. Like Uggla got a decent pitch to hit there too, around the knees and had a lot of the plate.
Yes, he did. A little frustrated after that pitch. You could see it. Got a pitch to hit.
Oh, good swing there.
Strike 1 for BJ, who took a fastball and was called out on strikes in the Braves' third.
Fastball right there, and Dan upset, but he got under it.
Well, in hindsight, but looking at that pitch to Dan Uggla, that's a pitch you got to be looking for off of Capuano. If you get a fastball early in the count, it's going to be there. You're not going to get a fastball in till later in the count, and it's going to be way off the plate anyway. He'll throw you a fastball there early in the count. Dan just pulled off a little bit. If he could look for it, drive it to right center, you have a good chance.
BJ was in this count earlier tonight and it looked like he was probably looking middle of the plate away, and then Capuano buzzed him on the inside corner and got a call third.
And he went away, and Upton's down on strikes. That's 5 strikeouts for Chris Capuano. He enjoys a 1-run lead. Baseball is brought to you in part by Georgia Power, by Ram Trucks, by Crown Royal, and by AT&T. 1-0 Dodgers. We head to the 6th inning. Joe, Murph, and Chip with you from Turner Field. Let's get back to our AT&T Uverse trivia question with Adrian Gonzalez coming up for Los Angeles. Since 2007, he has the 3rd best batting average among Major League first basemen. His mark, 297. Who has the best batting average among Major League first basemen since 07 with a minimum of 2,000 plate appearances?
I got to stick with Pujols.
Okay.
The first guy that came to my mind was Joey Votto.
Joey Votto. I'm going to say Paul Konerko. Are we right?
Way to go, Murph.
Oh, my word.
Way to go.
On the board.
Don't expect me to do that now again.
You're a two-time.
I saw the steam coming out of your ears. We're proud of you.
You're a 2-time MVP, Murph. Keep it up. Good job tonight. Joey Votto, the answer.
Well, I wasn't a Phi Beta Kappa, but I did get straight A's in high school. Did I already tell you that?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Go ahead. We got a whole inning.
Yeah, no, my B's were a little crooked. But my A's were got them just right.
Nice.
Oh, boy, that's Smoltzy territory right there.
Yeah. You know he's watching tonight. Kemp swinging a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Feel free to use that one, Smoltzy.
Yeah. Well, you know he's watching because they all had to come out here for a production meeting today, and they don't even work till tomorrow.
Kemp swings and misses. Boy, the Braves have really had his number, haven't they? Kemp had a 14-game hitting streak at the start of this series. He had an 0 for last night, and he's 0 for 3 tonight.
Good change up, great spot. Chris is sharp tonight.
Yes,
great sign.
Yes, he is. Good location there. Good movement.
Kemp 0 for his last 21 at Turner Field.
Adrian Gonzalez was originally a Florida Marlin. Marlins drafted him in the 1st round of the 2000 draft. He was the #1 overall pick. The Marlins traded him to Texas for Ugueth Urbina in July of 2003. And Urbina helped take the Marlins to the World Series. Then the Padres got Gonzalez for Adam Eaton. That was in 2006. As he hits this one off the end of the bat into shallow right. Hayward's got that. He's traded to Boston for Anthony Rizzo, who's now the Cubs' first baseman. And then the giant mega deal between the Dodgers and Red Sox last year.
Who did the Dodgers trade to Boston in that deal? Do you have that?
James Loney, Ivan De Jesus, right-handed pitcher Alan Webster, right-handed pitcher Ruby De La Rosa, and first baseman outfielder Jerry Sands. We saw Jerry Sands make his big league debut out in Los Angeles.
I think De La Rosa pitched against the Gwinnett Braves the other night.
Did he?
Pawtucket, yeah. I don't think De Jesus is in the Red Sox organization anymore. He might be. And James Loney is in Tampa, isn't he?
And for Boston, that was as much salary relief as anything else. Yeah, they got Crawford's contract off the books, Josh Beckett's, Gonzalez's, and Nick Punto's. And by the way, the Boston Red Sox, a game behind the Yankees.
Yeah, 8 games over 500. What a turnaround for them.
Two quick strikes for Andre Ethier. And Medlin is really sizzling now. Couple of strikeouts in the 6th inning. He has 4 in total. He'll lead things off for Atlanta. He's down only 1-0.
Inning, time for our Volkswagen pitching performance, and you could put a performances on this one because both guys are dealing, and both are dealing with change-ups primarily, although Capuano, a couple of his strikeouts have been on that pitch, fastball two-seamer that caught the inside corner. For Chris Medlin, guys, I think he's had his best change-up tonight of any of his starts all year. Good stuff for him. He just recorded back to, or 2 strikeouts in the 6th inning to give him 4 on the night. And only 5 hits total in the ball game allowed by either side.
Well, great location, great movement, and great misses. You know, your misses have to be well placed as well. I think he's bounced his curveball. He hit Pete Gordon with it. Those are not bad things. Bad places to throw your curveball every once in a while. It's okay to bounce it. At least you're going to miss. You're missing too low, but you're not going to make a mistake hanging it. He's had good misses tonight as well.
Chris has one of the Braves' 3 hits in the game. And he bounces this one out toward D. Gordon at short. And there's your first out. Atlanta's had the leadoff man on just 1 time. That was last inning with Chris Johnson legging out an infield hit. Capuano has been in complete command.
And he's pitched well in this ballpark. 2-0 in his career here at Turner Field, a 3.34 ERA. And I remember John Smoltz telling me about how much he loved pitching in Montreal with that plexiglass right behind home plate. Said it felt like you were right on top of the hitter. Plus you got to watch yourself pitch. So he loved pitching there. And I think the same might be said for Capuano here. He feels comfortable at Turner Field, and his results show.
Well, there's just something, isn't it? As a hitter as well, there's just some ballparks you see things, you feel comfortable, whatever it is. I used to go to Wrigley Field and feel like the pitcher was 40 feet away.
Simmons swings from his heels and pops one up towards second. And 2 outs.
You go to some other ballparks, you feel like you see it really well and just had success in the past. Psychologically, it's a big deal. As a hitter, John Smoltz, how much he loved to pitch in the old ballpark in Montreal. He's talking about Olympic Stadium. Man, that was not a fun place to hit. Just did not like the visual he had there. Backdrop was weird.
That you had a lot of horns going. Vuvuzelas, is that what they're called?
Yeah. Remember when pitchers would throw over trying to pick off guys at first base? They put the chickens on the scoreboard.
Yes. Good days. Always had a tough club there, though. Man, they had good ball players there.
And of course, wasn't a trip to Montreal unless you could see Yupi.
One of the great all-time mascots.
Two balls and a strike. In the air to center. Kemp broke back. Now comes in on a full sprint and gets there to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for Atlanta in the 6th. 1-0 Los Angeles. 1-0. Braves could have had a run in the first inning, but Matt Kemp spoiled the fun.
Yeah, he did. Really nice timing by Matt Kemp. Unfortunately, a little tough play here. Schumacher hitting the ball down the line. In retrospect, I'm sure Justin Upton is saying, with Gonzalez on first, I don't have to go in there too fast, make sure I catch it because he's not going to score anyway. Unfortunately, took his eye off a little bit, coming up too quick, and Gonzalez ended up scoring.
Yeah, I didn't see that the first time around, but you're right, Murph. He looked up before he had it in his glove when he went to that backhand.
Yeah, it took me this long to think of it, but that's part of playing the outfield, is when you got to know your base runners. You got to think as he's going into the corner, he's got to know it's not D. Gordon on first.
Yeah.
All I got to do is catch this ball. He's not scoring. With D. Gordon, you got to, or someone who can run, you got to get rid of it a little bit quicker. But unfortunately, it's not that easy of a play. But sometimes you got to go into that corner with a little bit of caution. Is better than going in there too hot, trying to be too quick.
So that was our Crown Royal game summary, as an unearned run tallied against Chris Medlen tonight. Upton's 4th error in the Atlanta outfield this year, and the only error by either club so far tonight. Schumacher goes to work first. Two balls and a strike.
Chris Medlen looks really comfortable. I remember one of the starts earlier in the season, he said he was thinking out there, working on stuff, and finally I said, I can't work on stuff out there. It doesn't look like he's got anything on his mind except picking up Brian McCann and throwing strikes.
Which he has done all night long. He gets Schumacher, and that's out number 1. Delta Airlines, proud sponsor of your Atlanta Braves. Have a good crowd here tonight for Game 2 of the series. We had 43,000 here last night for the Braves, Dodgers, and post-game fireworks.
We got close to that tonight, don't we?
Pretty good shot. Here's Tim Fedorovich. First pitch swing and a fly ball deep center. The ballpark will hold that one. B.J. Upton a step onto the track.
Well, hitting and pitching is similar in that respect, isn't it, Joe? Mentally, when you're pitching well, you get the sign, you're not thinking, you just kind of get the sign, you pick up your target and throw. Hitting's the same way, kind of. You don't think too much. You don't have time. You can't react and think about where your hands are, where your feet are. You got to see it and hit it. A clearer mind is better at both hitting and pitching. It looks like, again, Chris is just very comfortable. Not a lot of effort out there, just throwing it.
And I think it all comes from confidence.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, as a hitter, when you're going good and you feel like, hey, just you throw it and I'll hit it. You know, I just want to see it out of your hand. You don't have to think about anything else. And I think that's a lot of the same stuff for pitchers like you're talking about, that I know I can make a good pitch here now because I've been doing it all night.
Right. And you're not afraid to get behind. You're not afraid of anything.
Right.
When you're hitting well, you're not afraid of missing a pitch because you know you're going to hit the next one. And I like the phrase that people use a lot as far as athletics is concerned, is being in the zone. Someone described it once as concentrating without thinking.
I like that.
You know, you just see everything, you notice everything, but you don't have to overthink it.
Oh. That just missed. Pitch number 100. Medlen thought it was good enough to end the at bat to Nick Punto.
Jerry Lane's been very generous to both pitchers, east and west, on those corners tonight, but not that one.
And he looks that one inside. 2-2.
Not be two pitches that have been closer together in the same spot. But again, those are great misses. There's been a few games where Chris has missed on the plate and then it gets hit.
Exactly right.
Those are good misses.
And in the bigger picture, guys, with the news of the day today, one of our keys was get your starter at least 7 innings if you can. And Chris, 1 strike away from doing just that.
His spot in the batting order not due up next inning. You hope he gets up. He's due up 7th, but he might be able to go another inning since he just crossed over 100.
And after getting ahead 0-2, now it's full to Nick Punto.
Make a good pitch here, get the out, then you've got 8-9-1 up next inning.
Ball 4. Terrific at bat by Punto. The umpires in the crowd letting Jerry Lane hear it, as Medlin just missed shaving off the inside corner on back-to-back pitches to go from 0-2 to 2-2.
Little breather here for him from this trip by Roger McDowell. So while they visit, we'll tell you about Georgia Power Energy tip number 1. Learn ways to make your home more energy efficient with Georgia Power's online energy checkup. It's free and takes less than 15 minutes to complete. Energy tip number 1, Tyler Paskernicki, who continues to hit well at Gwinnett. Last I heard, he was still hitting 300.
Good for Tyler. Let's see if Chris can retire Gordon here. He's hit him with a pitch and he's walked him. And a cue shot. That ball is foul. That is a foul ball. Hunter Wendelstedt.
It's not Hunter's call.
Is the man that was waving his arms.
It's not.
And that's what Don Mattingly's coming to ask is, did Jerry Lane see that ball? And Jerry Lane said apparently the ball was foul and he ruled it that way too. Let's see if that's the case.
Close.
Yeah. But that's Jerry Lane's call until the ball gets to the bag.
And Don Mattingly's probably trying to say, how could you see it with Chris Johnson in front of it?
Strike 1 to D. Gordon.
I don't know how Chris Johnson would have thrown out D. Gordon. Fair.
Braves start play tonight, a half game in front of the Nationals. They're in San Diego tonight. And the Padres have scored an early run. They lead Washington 1-0 in the second inning. Nationals got a big victory last night. Rafael Soriano blew a save. They came back and won in extra innings. I didn't know this stat, but the Washington Nationals were the last team in the National League with a pinch hit RBI until last night. There's a strike to Gordon. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, they've got a couple of good guys off the bench too, and Tyler Moore, Chad Tracy.
Right now, Adam LaRoche is carrying Washington. He's got a 14-game hit streak. Close play and just back.
If you were with us when we were doing a game in Phoenix the other night, there were a lot of close plays at first base, and John Hirschbeck was back at the edge of the grass with a runner at first. Alan Porter's right there, got his nose right in that play. Good call, right on top of it.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
What was he doing? He was down the line, back on the grass?
Yeah, he was way back behind the base, right at the edge of the grass, even with a runner at first. And there were some pickoff moves that he had to make a call on from that area. And John's a good umpire, but he was way off the bag.
Out of position.
Medlin's thrown a season high 111 pitches.
Well, it's taken him about 10 of those, the last hitter, or last 2 hitters.
Swing and a miss. Medlin strikes out D. Gordon. 5 strikeouts for Chris. And as we head to the 7th inning stretch, the big bats are coming up for Atlanta. Upton, Freeman, and Chris Johnson down 1-0 to the Dodgers. Appreciation Day as the Braves and Dodgers meet in Game 2. Always great to see our heroes come home. And I hope if you're at the ballpark this weekend and you see a member of our military, pat them on the back, wish them well, and say, job well done.
Yeah, what a opening today. This is the first time I've been at the ballpark where I saw the flag and members of our armed forces here. And the first pitch.
I like it too, and the players go out and stand in between all the servicemen and women. That's cool.
It was awesome.
So the Stars and Stripes flying proudly above the ballpark, in the stands as well, as the Braves get set to come up in their half of the 7th inning. The Stars have been on the mound tonight. Neither Chris Capuano nor Chris Medlen have given up an earned run. Unfortunately, Medlen trails 1-0. Capuano up to his old tricks against the Braves. He's 2-0 in this ballpark, and he's into the 7th inning at 73 pitches and only 3 hits. Jerry Lane raises the right hand. He's done that a lot with Capuano tonight. No balls and a strike.
And once again gets ahead in the count.
His pitch count very manageable, and with the troubles the Dodgers have had in their bullpen, one would think Don Mattingly will let Capuano go as long as he can tonight. Braves roughed up their relief corps last night, and Capuano spears one at the base of the mound. He takes care of Justin, 1 away in the Atlanta 7th. Good as the top 3 hitters were for Atlanta last night, so far Capuano's held them to 0 for 9 combined tonight in Game 2. After the Dodgers leave town, the Twins come a-calling Monday through Wednesday here at Turner Field. Take advantage of the Coca-Cola 2 for $30 Tuesday ticket special and take off early for the Braves Business Fan Special on Wednesday. Visit Braves.com/tickets for more info.
This game right now reeks of the first 2 games in Arizona. Braves beat a left-hander, Wade Miley, beat him 10-1, had 13 hits. The next night, Patrick Corbin threw a 4-hit shutout combined with his bullpen. Last night, the Braves really were on a mission offensively. 8 runs, 9 hits. Tonight, another lefty. They're not generating much.
Well, you're right. So far, reeks is the word so far, but talking about as well as Chris Medlen has pitched, Capuano has been right on the money with his location.
Well, he hasn't struck out an inordinate number of hitters. He has 5 strikeouts in the game, just 3 hits. One very interesting trend for this Braves ball club offensively in the first 41 games. As Freeman scalds one to short. Gordon, though, had him played beautifully, 2 out. And the Braves do not hit a home run. They've won 1 game this year. 1. They're 1-14.
That was a good piece of hitting there by Freddie, though, ahead in the count. Like he was trying to go the other way, but they just had him positioned perfectly. A little bit of an inside-out stroke, hit it hard, but you can see Gordon cheated up the middle some, right there for it.
Yeah, good positioning by D. Gordon. Freddie's looked really comfortable, though. Had base hit last night. Did he have 3 walks as well, or something like that? I think he just looks good, seeing the ball well. 3 walks.
3 walks and an RBI hit for Freeman last night. But 0 for 3 in Game 2 tonight. This is Chris Johnson. Braves have 3 hits. Chris has 2 of them. Chris Medlen has the other.
Corey Guerin is still throwing in the Braves pen, Chip. We'll see if Medlen goes back out.
Hi, Chris, for 112, 113 pitches.
And the bullpen door just amazingly like magic flies open.
2 balls, 1 strike. Chris Johnson has 3 hits.
It's one of the few mistakes he's made all night. It looked like a pitch that was up. He hadn't hardly made any pitches above the waist. There was one.
Yeah, I don't think he's thrown that pitch all night.
I wouldn't mind him hanging one to Brian McCann.
Brian has got a couple decent pitches to hit, just been a little bit quick. See if he can make an adjustment here and drive that ball the other way, and if he makes a mistake then Brian's plenty quick enough.
Ramiro Pena's pinch running at first base. And a bouncing ball right to Adrian Gonzalez. And that retires the side. We are through 7 in Atlanta. The Dodgers still lead 1-0. Inning number 8. An unearned run is the difference in game 2 tonight, and the night is over for Chris Medlen.
Pitched a good ball game, real good ball game. Retired 10 of the last 12 he faced. The only 2 that reached were 1 walks. Last hit he allowed was the double by Schumacher back in the 4th inning.
So Corey Guerin, the first man to answer our AT&T call to the bullpen. As we were talking earlier with Eric O'Flaherty out with an elbow injury now, the responsibilities for guys in the bullpen become even more important. And you saw Corey's numbers, feel awfully good about the way he's pitched, and here he is in the 8th.
I think especially with, I'll say, the inexperience. I know Corey's been up a couple of times over the last 2 years, several times over the last 2 years, but the inexperience between he and Rasmus, even Avilan to some extent. I mean, these guys have got to be ready just to pitch just about anywhere, anytime.
Yeah. Capuano stays in the game and pops one into shallow center. B.J. Upton comes on. Guerin gets the first man in the Dodger 8th.
I think Anthony Barbaro is going to be the designated long guy if they need somebody to come in early but everybody else, aside from Kimbrel, better be ready any part of the ball game.
Ramiro Pena, as we showed you, stays in to play third for the Braves. Pena's batting in Chris Johnson's spot. Guerin's batting ninth. That spot due third when the Braves come up here in the inning.
That's a good point, Joe, with O'Flaherty and Johnny Venters gone, and everybody kind of knew their role, but now with the inexperience, you've got to figure out their role. They just got to be ready to go. That's a good point. And then kind of fall into your category eventually. Freddie Gonzalez will let you know exactly what your role will be, but right now be flexible.
That pitch was buried across the chute tops, and Crawford missed it by plenty. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Oh, we've seen some funny left-handed swings off of that pitch from Corey Guerin. That ball is seen guys swing at that ball way off the plate. Hard breaking ball in on lefties.
To short. Simmons unloads quickly and gets Crawford 2 out. Base is empty. Let's check in with Tom Hart.
The question not only is who will fill in for Eric O'Flaherty now, but down the road. Braves signed Joe Beimel, the veteran left-hander, today. He'll be assigned to AAA Gwinnett. He's got 567 games under his belt. Luis Ayala still isn't ready down at AA. Freddie Gonzalez talked about him today. He said he lost some weight dealing with his anxiety issues, but Freddie Gonzalez loves University of Georgia product Alex Wood, who's really stepped up his game in his second professional season, thanks in large part to Craig Kimbrel and Johnny Venters, who taught him a spike curveball during spring training.
Yeah, Freddie really raved about Wood during spring training. Knew that it was too early for him to be on the ball club coming out of camp, but the way he started off in AA might put some pressure on everybody to get him up here pretty soon. Joe Beimel, huh? He's been there and done that.
You bet. Kept tied up inside. It's ball 2 to the Dodgers center fielder. To third. Oh, Pena finds the ball and makes a terrific play to retire Matt Kemp. 3 up, 3 down for Corey Guerin. Bottom part of the Braves order coming up. Still 1-0. Los Angeles. We wrap up the series here tomorrow afternoon. First pitch 1:35. Here are our Chevron upcoming starters.
Don't know a whole lot about Matt McGill, but he has made some starts this year. He has no decisions as yet. Try to hang an L on him tomorrow. You see 2 L's at the end of his name. He just needs 1 tomorrow. And Mike Minor, who has been arguably the Braves' best pitcher over the last 2 weeks. He's been pitching really good baseball. Excellent ERA. And he'll be back out there tomorrow afternoon.
Need a run, fellas. Down 1-0. And off speed to Dan Uggla, misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Uggla, B.J. Upton, and then we'll see for the Braves. Kenley Jansen was up and loosening in the Dodger pen an inning ago. We'll see if Capuano gets in trouble, if he comes out first. Low and away, 2 balls and a strike. And Jansen is back up.
I see Dan put one of those swings on Capuano like he was using in Cincinnati when he got hot. Oh, another borderline pitch that was just right.
Fly ball right field, playable for Ethier. Andre has it. Dan's 0 for 3 and is the first out of the inning. Here's BJ. 2 more strikeouts for the Braves center fielder. Sharply hit and through. There's the potential tying run.
You know, they've been coming so few and far between for BJ. And he's had such a rough start that when he does square one up, what a great feeling for him to give him a little positive feedback that some things he's working on are working. And he's the perfect guy to have on base right now because he's got great speed and represents the tying run.
By my count, that's B.J. Upton's first hit since the 9th inning of May 11th. The Braves were in San Francisco.
Well, I know he was 0 for his last 16 prior to that hit.
That would be it. Well, it was a good swing, and it's good to see him be out front on a fastball. You know, he's been laid a lot in between. His mind is not sure what's coming. That's going to have to just go up, swing it. Good to see him pull a ball on the left side of the field.
That base hit was like the one he hit off Chipper's ankle last year down in Tampa. That was a rocket.
So the Braves finally get Capuano out of the game. We're in the Dodger bullpen with the tying run aboard in the last of the 8th. course, from Reed Johnson and Justin Upton. Reed, a terrific pinch hitter, and Justin Upton, a man that saw Kenley Jansen a lot in National League West play as a Diamondback.
And Kenley Jansen's a big horse, 6'5", 260, throws hard, goes 95 to 96 miles an hour with a slider, just about a 2-pitch pitcher only, but he doesn't need a whole lot more. Already this year, 29 strikeouts and 21 plus innings and only 5 walks. Last year, 65 innings, 99 strikeouts. He had a 2.35 ERA and 25 saves for the Dodgers. And he can bring it.
Jansen was originally a catcher in the Dodgers system, but they've converted him very, very effectively. He's out of Curacao. And how about this matchup? Power pitcher, power hitter. Evan Gattis grabs a bat and goes to work with 1 out in the 8th.
We were presented last night with our El Oso Blanco t-shirts that are now on sale in the Braves Clubhouse store. Very cool shirts.
It's always tough duty pinch hitting, but in some ways it's an advantage. He hasn't had to face Capuano.
Right.
All of a sudden has a completely different visual with height, side of the plate, all gas.
That's a good point.
And you know, fastballs are nothing that Evan Gattis can't handle. Tough assignment here, no question though.
Steve, rank 1 call. Jansen took over as the Dodgers closer in May of last year and converted 25 of 32 save chances. And misses low. Right now, the Dodger closer is Brandon League, another right-hander.
Good lead for BJ.
High and tight.
Good lead for BJ. Joe, you're right, but the challenge is when you're not out there that often, your timing and your sense of when to go, when to take a chance is a little off.
Well, and the other thing too is he can score from first on a double. There's no urgency to get him to second base.
Good point. Good point.
2 balls and a strike.
Now let's see if the Dodgers follow the scouting report. That one was letter high. In Phoenix, the Diamondbacks were going chin high or above, and he was chasing.
Looks like they want to come up and in. Is that what you saw, Joe? Or
That was, I think that was a signal to throw over.
Oh,
I think it was he was doing that thumb. It was to throw over.
Oh, okay. Looks like, they want to go away.
See where the target is. Not up.
Gattis followed off, stays alive. Think of Kenley Jansen as the Dodgers version of Craig Kimbrell. In his first 100 innings as a big league relief pitcher, he struck out 167 men. That's second most all time. Wow. Craig Kimbrell, 170. his first 100 innings. So very similar strikeout totals between these two hard-throwing relief pitchers. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Upton at first.
Yeah, Evans a little frustrated. He's had a couple of fastballs to hit. I agree with you, Joe. It's kind of interesting that they haven't tried to climb the ladder a little bit on him, because he comes there again. He could get hurt. Little timing mechanism for Evan Gattis. Little forward press, if you use the golf analogy, and you're putting, and goes back and shifts that weight a little bit to get that weight on your back leg. I like that. Some guys do that with bringing that front foot up a little bit, like Justin Upton.
He's reeling him in, fellas.
He's getting closer, isn't he? They've got a couple of pitches to work with here if they want to get away from the fastball. The only concern is a lot of times somebody say, well, if he hasn't gotten around your fastball, why throw him anything to speed his bat up like a slider and risk making a mistake with it?
Again, the 2-2.
I'd say Coach Reed Johnson and Coach Justin ought to feel pretty good about themselves. But you were so right, Chip. He just kept getting closer and closer to that fastball. And boy, was he focused.
And now Atlanta leads by a run. As Simmons drives one deep left. Crawford going back. That one's gone. Simmons wins that battle of Curacao. 3-1 in the 8th.
Well, Andrelton gets all over that high fastball.
Yes, he did. Tomahawked it. His 5th of the year. Chris Capuano saw his win disappear in a hurry. And this is what I loved, and what I want you to pay attention to right up to the point of the home run ball is the concentration by Evan Gattis. He's got both eyes squarely on the pitcher on every pitch. And at this point, he started fouling off some pitches and getting some good swings at him.
Well, he had that pitch, this pitch, another pitch, 3 pitches in a row to hit. And then that one's a little bit further in.
Yeah.
But just glad they didn't listen to your scouting report, Joe, and didn't come up out of the strike zone at all.
Did they come in, or did he crowd the plate and they came in? I'm not sure.
A little bit of both.
He might have moved up on the plate a little bit.
Well, how about Evan Gattis? with the Braves outfield back with the Uptons and Hayward, and Brian McCann back. Playing time dwindling for Gaddis, but what a huge contribution in tonight's game. A pinch hit, 2-run homer, his 3rd pinch hit of the year, and his 2nd pinch hit homer of the year.
That reminded me of the home run he hit off Strasburg right there. The one on Strasburg was up, that was almost impossible to catch up to. That one was down more. But boy, oh boy, did he get him timed and roped in, reeled in, as you said, Chet.
An 8th pitch home run by Gaddis. He fouled off 4 straight.
And that's just such an impressive at bat when you look at his overall lack of major league experience, called on to pinch hit in that situation. Pinch hitting, there's kind of an art to it. It takes usually a lot of experience.
That's just such a great sequence, seeing him over there talking to Reed Johnson, Justin Upton. Greg Walker was standing right there. And it didn't look like Evan was doing any talking. He was doing some real good listening and taking it all in. What a great sequence of events for the back-to-back homers.
Great catch by our camera crew. Look at this. Justin Upton was 2 for 7 against Kenley Jansen. That's more at bats than any other Brave due to his time with the Diamondbacks. And then Reed Johnson, of course, led the National League in pinch hits last year. Who better to listen to?
There you go.
Jansen only gave up 6 home runs all last year. I told you about his numbers and all those strikeouts. He gave up 6 home runs all last year, and he gave up 2 to 2 hitters. Jumping on some bullpens, aren't they?
That's an incredible stat right there.
And the Dodgers bullpen is a real problem for them right now. 3-1 Atlanta with 3 in the 8th. And now Hayward, a comebacker, gloved by Jansen. And it's a good thing he did get a piece of leather on it. Otherwise, that's in center field. 2 outs.
That was hit hard, too. That ball just found his glove.
Not fooling anybody.
Tough luck for Hayward.
Now, I'm not sure if Justin went over and asked Evan Gaddis for a scouting report. But he's up with 2 outs and the base is empty. Something else to think about too, and maybe I'm off base, but the base hit by B.J. Upton may have changed the tenor of this inning too. He was the tying run at first. Jansen may have been worried about him taking off.
Yeah, a lot of throws over. You're right. He was not able to put Gaddis away after getting ahead of him.
And the breaking ball has Upton in an even count. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And that's the pitch I thought on 2-2 after all those foul balls. I thought that's a pitch he might go to, not necessarily for a strike, but just to see if he would commit early on a breaking ball off the plate.
Well, again, I get back to your questioning, Joe, whether the Dodgers had an accurate scouting report on how to pitch to Evan Gaddis. I haven't seen him miss fastballs, belt high or lower. He threw him 4 in a row.
On that shot on the bench, it looked like Gaddis was making the sign of a cutter.
Well, you know, his fastball tonight, I keep looking up there. There weren't that many 95s and 6s. There were a lot of 91s. And I wonder if he's trying a new pitch or something and got burned on it.
You don't want to start a cutter inside part of the plate to Evan Gaddis. I don't know what he's thinking.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And that's over the inside corner. The Braves with 3 in the 8th. B.J. Upton singles. Evan Gattis, his second career pinch hit homer. Then Andrelton Simmons goes back-to-back, extending the Atlanta lead now to 3-1 for Craig Kimbrel in the 9th. Pinch hit, 2-run homer with the Braves down 1-0, turns the game to Atlanta's favor. Andrelton Simmons follow with a solo shot, and that sets the stage for Craig Kimbrel to close things out and make a winner of Corey Guerin in relief.
Well, we talked last night about how he had had some rest and looked sharp last night, gave up a hit but struck out 2. We looked it up about his work along with O'Flaherty, and it's pretty interesting, and we'll get to that. We're putting a graphic together for you in just a second.
It's Adrian Gonzalez to start the Dodger 9th. Broken bat rolled to short on the first pitch. 1 out. He just sawed him right off. Here's Ethier. He's 0 for 3. Let's not forget tonight either, Braves have given up 2 hits to the Dodgers. Chris Medlin started 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 unearned run. Guerin worked a perfect 8th. And Kimbrel gets the first man in the 9th inning with a 3-1 lead.
There have been 50 games that Craig Kimbrel has pitched in since 2011 where he did not work with Eric O'Flaherty. But 108 times they worked together back to back, or in the same game rather, since 2011, and the Braves are 90-18 in those games.
And his fastball is explosive. 0-2.
I really think that a few days off for him where he did not pitch in Arizona, wasn't needed to pitch in Arizona, I think did him a world of good.
I think you're right. He's feeling it.
You're right, Joe. Unlike 93, 94, scoreboard here showing 97 pretty consistently.
Well, I remember in Cincinnati the night he gave up the 2 homers. He hit 96, but it wasn't every pitch. It was like a spike, and then it was 93, 94. He's consistent now over 95.
Hard curveball, and Ethier missed it. 2 out. That's almost unfair.
Yeah, you can't do anything with that pitch. Nothing to feel bad about missing that one.
One more out to get, then it's Braves Live Time presented by AT&T. And this big crowd of 38,000 plus rises in unison, hoping to see the Braves win another home series, this time against the Dodgers. One more to follow here tomorrow afternoon. Here's Skip Schumacher. Strike called outside corner. One more to get. The 0-2.
It's okay on that location there. Good to see him come up out of the strike zone.
I like it.
It's a good miss for him.
Don't want to mess around and bring the tying run to the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Schumacher. That's ball game. Did the Braves give this crowd a finish tonight or what?
Fun stuff.
Kimbrel works a 1-2-3 ninth inning to win it for Corey Guerin. And the Braves beat the Dodgers by a final score of 3-1. Chris Capuano was in complete command until the Braves take aim at the Dodger bullpen. Evan Gattis, a game-winning 2-run homer. Andrelton Simmons with a solo shot as well. And the Braves were on their way.
Did he fall down there? They're all looking down like he went down, like he missed a step.